Hello, everyone, and I welcome you all to today's exclusive Fireside Chat on designing the next frontier of automation with agentic AI and scalable frameworks. I'm your host, Khushi Mutkal, and it's a pleasure to have you with us. And I'm honored to welcome our distinguished speaker for today's session, Mr. Prakash Narayanan, Head of Intelligent Automation at Cyient. He is a seasoned professional with deep expertise across the digital automation landscape, specializing in leading edge platforms and emerging technologies. His core competencies include robotic process automation tools such as UiPath, Automation 360, Blue Prism, and Microsoft Power Platform. He is also well versed in agentic process automation, effectively combining traditional automation with the advanced capabilities of GenAI and agentic AI to deliver scalable and adaptive solutions. And in addition to automation, he brings strong proficiency in test automation, UI UX design, and immersive technologies like AR and VR. It's such a pleasure to have you here with me, Prakash, today.
Thank you, Kushi. Glad to be here.
Likewise. And now about the session. In today's fast evolving tech landscape, the very definition of automation is finally changing. We are moving beyond the rigid RPA bots towards adaptive, intelligent, and scalable agentic systems that can make complex decisions. So, in today's conversation, we learn how developers and enterprise architects can transition from building simple bots to designing autonomous, goal oriented agentic AI workflows. We will cover the specific tools and frameworks required to make this leap, ensuring true business value and scalability. Our expert speaker will also share real world strategies for integrating GenAI and agentic AI with existing RPA infrastructure, showing how to leverage technologies like process mining to identify the right use cases and build highly resilient data driven automation solutions. So, Prakash, now without further ado, let's get started. So, firstly, I would like to ask you that as you've seen automation evolve from RPA to intelligent and now agentic AI, how would you describe this shift and what makes agentic AI as a true game changer, in your opinion?
Thank you, Kushi. It's a great question, very relevant in the era that we are living in. As like you rightly said, 10, 15 years ago, RPA kicked off in the same fashion. Everybody were thinking that it's going to turn the world around, improve the productivity, create operational efficiencies, hit the bottom margin and top margin for companies hitting the P&L. It did help in a lot of those things, but RPA could solve only problems that are rules-based, right? Yeah. When you have a standard operating procedure, the processes that you want to automate are highly rules-based, have a large volume. Then rules-based automation, RPA excelled because RPA eliminated the need for any API kind of any connectivity to the data source. Through the UI itself, it's able to click and navigate through like the way the human would actually work with the systems. So that is the advantage of RPA. It did have its great impact. So many industries, banking, financial, insurance, across pharma, healthcare, so many sectors, everywhere they are deployed RPA on the process automation side. They reap a lot of benefits in terms of higher operational efficiencies, higher productivity, cost savings, and whatnot. However, then RPA hit a roadblock. What was the roadblock? When you deal with unstructured data, semi-structured or unstructured data, RPA cannot work with it. So it needs a very structured data to work with, right? So that is where it hit a bottleneck. So that's where the AI came into the picture. So that's where intelligent automation, where you mix AI capabilities with RPA, then you are going to get the intelligent automation. So for example, I will give you have a invoice processing process. Suppliers need to be paid. When they send the invoice, it needs to get paid. So what the buyer does in the invoice approval process, they have to open the invoices from the supplier in the email. They need to save the invoice PDF in the folder. Then they need to extract the data from the invoice PDF, which is a scanned PDF most of the times. And then you need to navigate to a SAP or a ERP system to post that invoice, do some checks and balances, then trigger the payment to the supplier. So all these steps except the scanned image part, RPA can do deal with it. But when you have that scanned image data needs to be extracted, you need a AI part of it. You need a computer vision, OCR, AI models to extract it. So that is where you are applying intelligent automation by combining the capability of RPA with the AI for this data extraction from the scanned images or PDFs, and then you have the entire 100% of the process automated end to end. So you're automating the process end to end. So that is the intelligent automation era, right? Now we are into the agentic AI era. So what is changing here? Even though intelligent automation is also using AI, agentic AI can operate autonomously. It can take decisions on its own. All it needs is a goal. So you can set a goal saying that process these 1 million invoices every month, what we're getting in the email, and you give a goal, then the agentic AI figures out what it needs to do, what tools it needs to connect to implement that automation. So it will use the model context protocol MCP to connect to SAP. It uses frameworks like agentic frameworks, LangChain, Crew AI, and other things. So it figures it out on its own, and it is able to execute independently. So that is the advantage of agentic AI. So now you see the evolution clearly. You started with rules-based automation with RPA. Then you had the AI part taking to intelligent automation. Now we are extending it to agentic AI automation, where we are autonomously, the AI bots are able to make decisions and execute it without or little human supervision. So that is the progress that we have made, and that's why it makes more sense, because your productivity improvement and operational efficiency improvement is going to be much more increased now with the help of agentic AI.
Right, Prakash. You very well briefed us about how actually agentic AI is, taking over the shift from where we were and now where we are. And definitely, with this setting of a game changer, there are so many plethora of opportunities also that comes forth. So, moving forward to the next question, how do you think organizations can blend the traditional RPA with agentic AI and Gen AI to build more adaptive and intelligent automation ecosystems today?
Absolutely, it's a great question. So my view is that many people are having a wrong notion that agentic AI or Gen AI or agentic AI is replacing RPA. That is not the right word, because it's not replacing; it is complementing RPA rather, because each has its own strengths, right? RPA is the strength is in the rules-based automation. Gen AI strength is in the creating new content, summarizing, those kind of things, predicting patterns, identifying patterns across large, massive sets of data. Agentic AI is in running autonomously and making decisions on its own, and automating 100%, right? So each has its own strength. So I wouldn't call that one set of technology is replacing another. Rather, I see it as a very cohesive, harmonically coexisting to achieve a true 100% automation from end to end of a process or across multiple processes within an enterprise. So my view is that agentic AI and Gen AI definitely complement the capabilities of RPA. One other angle to it is, you think about companies who have invested many millions of dollars in RPA technology. Do you think they are going to just leave it go waste now because you have agentic AI or Gen AI? No, because they look at from business decision. They want ROI, right? So if they want to implement automation, they are not going to replace the entire RPA estate with Gen AI agentic AI, which will be a very major investment, and it will not have a good ROI. It will impact your bottom line. So that's why you have to leverage it. You have to, wherever structured automation is required, you leverage the existing RPA bots, then build the new ones where Gen AI and agentic AI has the maximum capability to do that. So you build new automations with Gen AI, agentic AI, but leverage the existing RPA for the rules-based automation. Then you are making use of the investment you already made. You are not just completely thrashing away all RPA and putting, because CFO or the financial side, it doesn't make any sense, right? For CFO, if you're doing that, that's cost so much money, and it's not worth it. So that's where you have to leverage the existing investment. At the same time, for the new areas, you have to use the power of agentic AI, Gen AI to automate. Even the previous example for your previous question, I gave that invoice processing. Even that one, you can leverage the RPA bot, which is already doing most of the work. Only for the remaining agentic work, you can use the agentic AI and leverage the RPA bot. The agentic AI bot can call the RPA bot, and now we have platforms which can orchestrate across all these three technologies. So RPA bots can be there, GenAI bots can be there, agentic AI bots can be there, and all these can be orchestrated from a central platform. Say UiPath has it, Automation Anywhere has it, even Microsoft has it. So everyone has the orchestration platform, agentic orchestration. So where all these technologies can be part of the game. So that's my view on your question. Question.
And that's a very great and insightful approach to actually follow, Prakash, because as we see that today's landscape, everyone is moving towards, shifting their approaches and replacing all those skills, reskilling and upskilling towards finding always a better approach. There are many competing approaches that we see, just like low code, no code, and pro code models. So when we talk about that, what do you think is the right balance when it comes to scaling the automation effectively?
See, all these three are important. Not, I wouldn't say no code, low code, pro code. Each could replace one another. It's not that. It's also a game of harmony here, because
Yeah.
if you take no code, business user, you are converting him to a developer. A
Yeah.
business user, he doesn't have a technology experience. He doesn't have a programming experience, but
Yeah.
with little training, he can start creating automations. So that is where the no code comes into the picture. It helps, turns a business user into a part-time developer. And similarly, if you take the low code, a little bit development experience is there, but he's not a hard code programmer. He can use the low code tools and create automations. So
Yes.
less experienced developers or new to these programming and development areas, these people can embrace the low code automations. And the pro code, of course, is for the seasoned programmers and diehard enthusiasts of software languages and programming. So they can do build more scalable and very robust systems applications using pro code.
Yeah.
So my point is, each has their own play. So by embracing no code, low code, as well as pro code, you are giving chance to everyone and increase the productivity. So normal scenario in a company, what happens if they have only pro code? Everybody has to depend on the COE or the developer to have a bandwidth. He should have bandwidth. All the business will come at, I have 100 opportunities to be automated.
Yeah.
But the central team may not have the bandwidth to do all of them. So what happens? They will say, I can only do 5. I don't have bandwidth for the right. So the remaining
Yeah.
95 gets stalled. Whereas with the no code and low code approach, the business user can pick up 5 or 10 and he can automate. He doesn't have to wait for the pro code developer to be available to do the automation. Same way, low code also, some less experienced developers can use low code and develop. So you are basically improving your productivity ratios and operational efficiency by automating more processes than relying on the central team to do only the pro code way. So that is the approach that I would say. It is complementary. Each has its role to play. When all three are doing their work, you are getting more processes automated. That is good for the enterprise.
True, Prakash. Maintaining that right balance along with every approach is the best way to go ahead, as you rightly said. And which makes us move forward to the next question, where I would like to ask you that what do you think are some of the real world use cases where agentic AI has already demonstrated some tangible impact on productivity or on customer experience?
Great question. There are a lot of use cases, but I will take one high impact use case. If you take a healthcare sector,
Correct.
healthcare payments processing, right? Everybody has a medical insurance card.
Yeah.
Say when they want to avail, go to the doctor and get any advice and get medicines or treatment. They use the insurance to they claim,
Yeah.
get it funded by the insurance, right? Because they
Yeah.
pay the premium to the insurance. So the insurance claims, medical insurance claims, I take US alone, it is every week they process millions of insurance claims. And that is a very comprehensive process because it's not like a straightforward. You have a lot of steps in the first you have to verify the patient eligibility. You have to check, log into the payer portal, log into the insurance portal. You need to check policies, what is covered, what is not covered. So a lot of steps are there. So this is the perfect opportunity for agentic AI to do it autonomously on its based on all these rules. The agents can automatically log into the payer portal. They can take the data from the patient filled form. It can check for eligibility, how much coverage is given by this insurance. They can log into different portals, check the policies. Then they can also trigger the payment for the insurance company once the doctor has finalized the treatment and everything. So a lot of these steps can be automated by agentic AI in a very faster fashion. Since the volume is huge, like millions, many millions in a week, so you are able to save on higher productivity. You are increasing the operational efficiency. The best thing is that because of agentic AI, the insurance companies don't have delays in making the payments. And doctors get their payments on time. The patient also, because the doctor's time is also now more available, they are able to see more patients. So in turn, it is completely helping the healthcare ecosystem. From the hospital provider perspective, the payment provider perspective, insurance perspective, the patient's experience perspective, everywhere it is helping, and thereby you see the significant customer experience for the patient and for the hospitals as well. So this is a very one of the high volume use cases where you are able to save, I could say, 15,000 hours every quarter you can save on administrative time, hospital administrative work time. 15,000 hours a quarter can be saved by implementing agentic AI on the this payer automations, this insurance claims, medical claims insurance. So that is the processing is a very good medical claims processing is a very good use case. And if implemented properly with all the governance and controls, agentic AI will be a true enabler for higher customer experience and productivity.
Yes, Prakash, and definitely you have mentioned a great real world use case that how agentic AI is already demonstrating its usage and its productivity. Because I think the healthcare domain is the one where we really need to implement all these strategies and techniques that we are coming forth with. It helps a lot, and it also helps the human to the human world and applying all these applications basically. So now this makes me transition to our next question, where as you see that many enterprises are struggling with scaling automation beyond pilots. So what are some strategies or frameworks that you have seen work best for sustainable and organization-wide adoption?
It's a great question. This question is very, we can learn from even the evolving technologies, like even the RPA days also, it was there, intelligent automation days, it was there. How do you scale? That's a very fundamental question that the procedure, I wouldn't say it's much different, the process or procedures. It's the only the technology is different, but then the process that we need to follow is the same. So if you have to scale, first you start with pilots and proof of concept, the proof of value rather, and then showcase to business. Okay, this technology I implemented on a smaller set of use cases, and this is the benefit you are getting, and this much is the investment. And does it make sense from a business perspective? Yes, if a business gives the sign off, then you move from pilot to productionize that use case. So mainly, I would say you should not look at it as a technology-led approach. That is not the correct way. You have to use it as a business and technology-owned approach. Then you will be able to scale. Otherwise, if it is only that technology is pushing it, then the adoption becomes very less from the business side. So that is where you need to have the buy-in from the business by showcasing the capability of the technology and what it can do to them. So combined cooperation of business and IT together driving the agentic automation, then there is a very good chance of scaling it across multiple divisions, departments within the enterprise, and the whole company can see the benefits of it. So that is one primary thing. Second, you should have a strong governance because when agentic automation, agentic AI is autonomous. The term autonomous is good in some sense, it's also bad in other sense. Because what if it makes mistakes? It's autonomous. If it's making mistakes, it will impact. It will, depending on the use case, it could have huge impacts. So that is where we need to have a control over that autonomy. So that's where you need frameworks in place, technological architectures in place that will make sure that when it cannot go rogue, or it cannot make much mistakes that will impact. So that's where you need human in the loop as well to validate. So whenever the agentic automation has a lower threshold for accuracy, it automatically should send it to the human in the loop to validate and get it retrained through reinforced learning through human feedback. And thereby the agent also learns based on that experience, and human is able to correct, and it doesn't cause further impact. So that is human in the loop is a critical thing. Having the control over that autonomy is another important thing. So these, if you have governance, strong governance, that is also helpful, because business will trust the technology. If we don't have the governance, then if it makes mistakes, then if it's they are end up costly, then business will lose trust in the technology, and as a result, they will say, "So whatever you say, AI, whatever you say, agentic AI, we don't care. We will do things our way. We don't want to. We don't trust." So that trust is important. Getting the business trust, winning the trust is important. Then only you can scale. So these are some of the things that I feel which should be cornerstone of any strategy, AI strategy or agentic AI strategy, if you want to scale successfully across the enterprise.
Yes. And those are very great perspectives of frameworks and strategies that you mentioned, Prakash, because definitely moving to this next frontier of automation with agentic AI, it becomes important to know the right way of moving forward. So, the way that we are getting to know from you about all these frameworks and technologies and strategies that we can actually include and also enhance with our daily lives, that's very essential also, because along with it, this responsibility also comes of always giving the best and performing with the best framework. So I'm glad that everyone is getting to know this through your personal expertise. And now I would like to finally ask you that as AI driven automation becomes more autonomous, how do you see the human role evolving in this new ecosystem of agentic AI?
That's a great question. Like I said, autonomy is good, definitely in certain areas or use cases where you apply. But then it is also not that great if agents are not doing what they are supposed to do. So that human factor is critical in that case. So that's why human has to validate the output of agents and to make sure they are within the thresholds, acceptable thresholds. Then only it should be productionized. So that human in the loop is very critical. And in terms of your answering your question, I would say it is not agentic AI or AI replacing humans. That is never going to be the case. It is going to be complementing the human. So the human is going to use agentic AI as a tool and then improve the productivity and efficiencies, operational efficiency, rather that way. And rather than this agentic AI or AI replacing humans completely. So that is not going to be the case. So they have to coexist. So what I see as a future is it's a strong coexistence between agentic AI bots or RPA bots or Gen AI bots or regular AI bots with human beings. So the human in the loop is also part of the orchestration strategy. So when we talk about agentic orchestration, there is a human in the loop factor also included in it. So whenever agents are having an accuracy lower than the acceptable threshold, automatically that goes to the human for validation, reinforced learning, and other things. So definitely, to give you an answer in a nutshell, it is a complementing only. It's like human AI and Gen AI or agentic AI is a complementing with the human capabilities. So together we are able to achieve greater efficiency, economies of scale, efficiency of scale, and all those things. So that is the way it is sustainable. That is the way it can be scalable. It's also scalable across the enterprise. So that would be my answer to that question.
Yes, Prakash, and that's a very great perspective to actually look at. And finally, a message for all the developers who are looking forward for this fireside chat, where you are revealing all those, actually exploring that, designing the next frontier of automation with agentic AI. Anything that you'd like to tell them?
This is the great opportunity for developers to embrace agentic AI. If you take a lot of the industry pundits like Gartner, they're saying by 2027, 30 to 40% of the enterprises will be using agentic AI across their enterprises. Even today, I know of certain companies, they have implemented 70% of their automations using agentic AI across the enterprise. So that is plenty of scope in this area. It is going to be a great game changer. Developers should focus on learning those agentic AI related architecture. What are the different architectures that are applicable for agentic AI? What are the different types of agents that can be created? Pick some technology stack. There are many vendors having their own agentic AI platforms. You take UiPath as their own. Automation Anywhere has their own. You have Microsoft stack. You have the open source stack. So different platforms that you pick on one and then master it. Start doing POCs and POVs. Create pilots. Play with it and learn. Learning is the key. Don't never stop learning. Whatever age you are. Even at the developer age, it's very vital. Even if you're experienced, still learning is important. So the technology keeps growing at a very unprecedented pace. So you have to keep pace with it. Then you have to keep learning, keep upskilling. That is the mantra, I would say, for developers. And the agentic platforms, pick one platform and go deep dive and learn and create agents. See how it orchestrates. Use MCPs, use orchestration platforms, use orchestrators, and then you will see the value of it, and you will be able to implement that in your companies and enterprises, and you all become very valuable to the business.
Yes, that's a great message, definitely for a whole developer community, and this will definitely make them look forward to the next perspective on the next topic that they will be exploring with you, and which makes us bring to the end of this fireside chat. And with that, we wrap up this truly insightful fireside chat on designing the next frontier of automation with agentic AI and those scalable frameworks. A heartfelt thank you to you, Prakash, for sharing such valuable insights, experiences, and forward looking perspectives. Your thoughts have really given us a much deeper understanding of how developers can move from building perspective prods to architecting autonomous agentic systems, and also balancing innovation speed with rigorous governance, and right by right, implementing those scalable frameworks that drive real operational excellence for people and businesses across the globe. So it was a pleasure having you with us, and thank you once again for being a part of this engaging and thought-provoking session, Prakash.
Thank you, Gushi. Thanks. Happy to be here. Thanks for the opportunity.
It was great hosting you. This is your host, Kushi, signing off. And definitely, it was an absolute pleasure hosting this fireside chat. Thank you for joining and have a great day ahead. Stay tuned for more such conversations from TechGig. Until next time, take care and keep innovating.